Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our third Facebook Live of the day. My name is Beth Kosiba, and I'm an engagement specialist on the guest engagement department in learning and community here at Shed Aquarium. We're so glad to have you joining us today to celebrate our 90th birthday and kick off our community fundraising campaign. It's time to make a splash. Shed Aquarium has been living its mission of sparking compassion, curiosity, and conservation for the aquatic animal world for 90 years tomorrow. I'll always remember when Shed's birthday is because I actually share a birthday with Shed Aquarium as well. So 90 years young tomorrow. And just because our doors are closed, that doesn't mean animal care has stopped, nor has conservation research. So after this Facebook Live is all done, I'm going to ask you to check out the link to the campaign in the post below and see if you can help support us to continue to spark compassion, curiosity, and conservation for the next 90 years. So let's get to the beautiful fish that are swimming in front of us now. We are coming to you via a live cam in our Underwater Beauty exhibit. Now, Underwater Beauty is our current special exhibit at Shed Aquarium. Underwater Beauty is really all about celebrating the brilliance of biodiversity all across the globe, just underneath the surface. The exhibit starts out with our shimmer room, has beautiful shimmering silver sides. Then we go to our colors room with animals of all colors of the rainbow. And right now, this live cam is in our patterns room. If you take a close look at all the fish that are swimming about, you can probably guess why. They are in the patterns room. There's all kinds of beautiful patterns on these fish. Now, on a reef, flashy colors and patterns aren't always about being seen. They're about survival. So let's take a look and see if I can identify some of the beautiful fish swimming around for us right now. Now, if any of you are Finding Nemo fans, you're going to see Gil, that Moorish idol with the large white dorsal fin, swimming about left and right on the screen. Now, Moorish idols are very common on reefs all around the world. That pointy snout of his allows him to pick between corals, eat coralline algae. And you would think a pattern like that would make him stand out quite a bit, but they have the ability to darken their colors to allow them to blend in even more with a coral reef. So that's a really interesting feature of these beautiful animals. Now, also swimming about, they're very active because I think they know that something's coming here shortly. We have our pyramid butterflyfish. So if you see the white and yellow fish that are kind of swimming around in the middle of your screen right now, take a very close look at the yellow and white pattern on them, and you'll understand why they're called pyramid butterflyfish. The whites on their bodies makes a pyramid shape. I love it when scientists name animals exactly what they look like. Now, pyramid butterflyfish are one of over 115 species of butterfly fish all over the globe. Now, these fish and that pattern of theirs also helps them to stay safe. You notice how the pattern is the yellow in both the front and the backs of their bodies. Because of that, it makes it hard for a predator to know which side is their front side and which side is their back side. So they're not entirely sure which way that fish is going to flee for safety. Now, coming around, we have a couple other species of angelfish that are a similar shape to the butterfly fish. They're actually pretty closely related. The big difference between the angelfish and the butterfly fish that are swimming around is that angelfish have a little spine over their gill cover that helps them to stay safe. Now, Moorish idols aren't the only fish that are able to change their colors at night to darken and blend in better. One of my favorite fish in this exhibit right now is swimming towards the back with that striped pattern. If you see me outside of my shed here, you know that black and white stripes is one of my favorite color combinations to wear. Now that is our spotted drum. So while he has spots along his dorsal fin, he has stripes along his body. You would think that a pattern like that would, again, stand out quite a bit, but as he swims down toward the bottom of the screen, now there he is, you can get a good look at him, and he's going back towards the reef itself. You can see how that color pattern might allow him to blend in. One of my favorite things about him is why he's called a drum fish. Spotted drums have the ability to make a drumming sound, which is just totally fascinating to me. Now, we do have an animal caretaker on site right now that's getting ready to give them a little bit of a feed. So hopefully we can see some of the things that the fish in our reef habitat like to eat. So we'll take just a moment and see if we start to see a lot of activity. That means that broadcast feed has gone in. Now, a broadcast feed means that our animal caretaker on site is taking food and putting it all around the habitat for the fish to forage for, just like they would if they were in the wilds. You'll see quite a bit of action happening towards the top of your screen, starting to get some food in there. The food that's being tossed into the habitat is a combination of a large krill. Whoa, look at how fast they're going. Large krill, small krill, and even some mysis shrimp. Now, this is some of what they eat every day. And wow, we're able to see some of the fish that were in hiding too, some of the species you couldn't see before. Now, this is just some of what the fish in this habitat eat. They also eat things called gel diets. So I think of gel diets as something very similar to the gummy vitamin I take as a grown-up that doesn't swallow pills very well. So we have got green gel diet. That's something that's got vitamins and nutrients for our plant-eating animals. And then there's also red gel diet for our animals who eat other animals. So that's another food that you might see fed out. We also might have some animals that might like to nibble at things like lettuces. So from time to time, we even put a head of lettuce into the habitat to allow our fish to swim and eat those lettuces. Now, for those of you who are just joining us, again, my name is Beth Kosiba. Happy to have you here joining us. If you are really enjoying this feed right now, we are kicking off our campaign. It's time to make a splash. So do check out the link in the post below so you can see how you can support us at whatever level is most appropriate for you. Now, this broadcast, we got these fish quite active all out and about. I'm curious if anybody has any questions in the comments for me.
We've got a few questions, Beth, and a lot of excitement about some of the same colors and patterns that you loved.
There's a head of lettuce in there, guys. Amazing.
A lot of people are really excited about the black and white fish too. And Mary loves the orange pink fish that she says reminds her of sherbet. Do you know what that one is?
Oh yeah, we've got our purple square anthias in here. Anthias are an amazing fish. So the males are more brightly colored. So you can see one that's floating right towards the top of the screen right now. We've got other anthias in here as well. The females aren't as brightly colored. Fascinating thing about anthias, all anthias are actually born female and then can change to male if needed for survival of their harem. So if a male who is in charge of the harem does die, a female can change to a male in about 2 to 3 weeks, so that way that harem of fish can continue to reproduce, which is just fascinating. And they're also some of my favorite colors.
We've also got a question from Lauren that's a new one for me. Lauren wonders about the fins on the bottoms of fish's torsos and why some have them and some don't.
Ooh, that's a great question. The different fin patterns that are seen on fish allow them to maneuver and swim around in different ways. So if you think about where a fish might need to be able to get into or even be able to balance in a certain way, that's why they have different types of fins. Some of our fish even have spikes along their fins for protection. That's usually on the fins on their backs, their dorsal fins, to protect themselves. Very cool. Any other questions out there?
Yeah, do we have time for maybe one more?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Awesome. Maybe we will ask Marcus's question. Do different fish eat different types of food?
Ooh, definitely. Yeah, we have some fish who like to eat smaller things like those little mysis shrimp, those larger shrimp. We even throw larger pieces of cut up capelin into our habitat from time to time for some of the bigger fish. So if you take a look at a fish's mouth, you get a little bit of an idea of not only what it might eat. If it has kind of a longer pointy snout like that Moorish Idol I pointed out earlier, they're going to be going into crevices versus something like the harlequin tuskfish, which I saw earlier, that has blue teeth, and they're very sharp and pointy for cutting up maybe larger prey items. Great questions, everyone. Well, I do know that we do have to wrap this up here soon. So I wanted to thank you all again so much for joining us for our third Facebook Live of the day and celebrating Shed's 90th birthday. As you know, our main revenue does come from tickets, and without being able to open our doors, we need your help. It's time to make a splash. So again, check out the link in the Facebook Live post and see how you can help to support Shed Aquarium. Thank you for celebrating our 90th birthday with us, and we look forward to the next 90 years, and we cannot wait to welcome you all back to the aquarium soon. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.